quarterbacks.
Even quarterbacks.
A handful of baseball players.
But you don't know what kind of baseball. He's a top 10
We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. He's had more success in football in college than baseball.
I get that, but
so we don't know what kind of baseball player he is.
But they drafted him as a top 10 pick.
That means what?
That means that they believe that he has that potential. I'm not saying.
How many people have they believed that about him?
But we can say that in the NFL. There's a lot of,
and you did say it about the NFL. We don't know which one he's going to be.
But I'm telling you, as a top 10 pick, they didn't give him $4 million
he has a better chance
because they like him.
He has a better chance of being average in the NFL than spectacular in baseball.
Based on what? Based on what?
Based on reality.
No,
that's true for anybody.
Who says that?
But based on what? You always have an easier chance to be solid.
I know a lot of quarterbacks who have been great players in college who failed.
Yes.
A ton.
It's the same in baseball.
I know, but you're asking it like it's automatic.
He could fail in either sport. That's all I'm saying.
This is what I believe you're missing, Rob. You're saying that because he was drafted in baseball by the Oakland A's top first round, they obviously believe in his ability. We haven't seen him. He hasn't had the opportunity to be drafted in football yet. We don't know where he's gonna go. He could potentially go top 10. The Raiders are at 4. The Giants are at 6. Jags at 7.
The Giants have already said that they're not.
No, they didn't say they're not going to draft him. They question his height, just like everybody else. That has nothing to do with are we going to take him.
But if the height doesn't matter,
listen to what I'm saying.
That's my point.
In football, in sport, in all of sport, what we have to understand is they're going to label you with something to devalue you. That is their job. It is then the player's job to strip that, to eliminate that, to make you forget about what you told me I could not do, i.e. Russell Wilson, i.e. Baker Mayfield, i.e. Drew Brees. These guys were all labeled.
Johnny Manziel, i.e. Tim Tebow.
Yeah, you're gonna look at
Tim Tebow. You compare.
Rob
you got the nerve to compare Tim Tebow to Kyler Murray.
We can look at all players. We can look at all the players that have had success and all the players that have had failures. There are going to be more that fail than have success. Why?
In both sports.
In life. So you're not making some great point by pointing out all the guys who failed, because it takes a lot to exceed. But to Chris's point, what he's saying and what we're trying to share and impart in you is that making this football decision, if number one, he's passionate about it, you can't question that.
No, but I never questioned that. I said that he obviously followed his passion. But if you're asking me and in talking and seeing, we had Brian Jordan on our radio show, who was a football and baseball player. And I'm surprised that Deion Sanders, who's a Hall of Fame football player at that level, said if he could do it over again and play baseball.
Do you want to know why?
That doesn't mean anything.
Do you want to know why?
No, I know.
Do you want to know why most players that have chosen something else say, man, I wish I would have, because they didn't do it. Like, it's just like myself. In college, I had the opportunity to play basketball at Western Michigan University. I didn't do it. You don't think there's days that I feel like, man, I should have tested it out.
But you made it to the NFL. You won a Super Bowl.
Deion made it to the NFL.
No, I know.
He was an all-pro.
Fact. I'm just saying.
Well, after the fact, because he felt like he could have potentially experienced something that he never really pursued greatly, like he did football. But if it was flipped, if he played baseball, I guarantee you, I can assure you, he would say, man, I wish I would have experienced football.
Greg, you're 34?
35.
35 years old. If you were a baseball player and not a football player, you might still be playing, right?
Absolutely, Jamie.
So for
no.
I want to clear. The most sense is when you said passion, because that's what you have to follow. You have to follow your passion. I totally get that, but I think for the risk of injury in football and the wear and tear, and I know that you have taken care of yourself.
But it's a different position. We're talking about quarterbacks in the National Football League, and if you're successful, and if a team invests around you, the quarterbacks, the average longevity of quarterbacks now, the way they're playing is at least 10 to 15 years if you're good.
If I told you RG3 after his rookie year would be in a position, I'm asking you.
I'll give you. I'll answer
It's
that.
all predicated on style of play.
Thank you.
Okay, and
Thank
what
you.
else? An injury, right?
RG3,
an injury.
Because his style of play made him more susceptible to injury.
But I'm just saying, this is the example I'm giving you. If you would have told me after his first year in the NFL that he would be holding the clipboard and the third guy in Baltimore 6 years later, nobody would believe that.
No.
Nobody.
Well,
he was
including
supposed
yourself.
to revolutionize, right, the quarterback position.
I don't know about revolutionizing.
Well, but he was one of
his
those.
style of play, you could see it wasn't sustainable. He was going to have to learn to not run as much. That was clear. You're right. Nobody's arguing you can play baseball longer and you don't have the health risk in baseball that you have in football. That much is clear. You know, but if we talk about the financial piece, let's just say he wouldn't do well in either. Say he's have a 4 or 5 year career in either sport. In football, he would make more money.
Yes.
In those 4 or 5 years. But to the height concern, he's measured 5'9" and 7/8 at Oklahoma. Russell Wilson measured 5'10" and 5/8 at the NFL Combine. You're talking about a difference of about this much. You're going to tell me, now he may not be as good as Russell Wilson just because he may not be as good, but this much difference is not going to be the reason he failed.
No, I didn't say that.
And Greg mentioned style of play, the RPOs, and
Chris,
I brought this up on our radio show. Doug Flutie. Doug Flutie was an all-pro 1 year, but still. For 1 year,
That's your argument?
He made the not all pro. He was Pro Bowl. I'm just saying, Doug Flutie was about his size, made the Pro Bowl 20 years ago in an NFL that was almost entirely different and was not catered to small, mobile quarterbacks the way it is today. So look, he may not be as good as we think, but I'm just saying I don't think this much of a difference is going to be why he can't be successful.
We met him down in Atlanta, right, when we were doing our show at the Super Bowl, and when we took a picture with him, first thing is you look at his height. I mean, it's like...
I'm 5'10". He was 1/8 smaller than me. I mean, really, I thought he was about my height.
Right, and you didn't look at him and say, this is an NFL quarterback. He's going to be the shortest quarterback.
Did.
And let me ask you, for a guy this is his passion, is he going to be satisfied if he is a backup QB somewhere? I mean, I wouldn't want to play my career. No.
But I think and Rob will attest to this, it's very difficult to just be a pretty good baseball player.
No, it's hard.
I mean, and we see guys that have great years in MLB, and then the next year, they fall right off. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and sometimes they never get back.
And we've also seen guys who, get a chance, an opportunity, and blossom and make $300 million and don't have to worry about the health.
Well, we see that in both. I mean,
I'm $300 million guaranteed. You don't see that in football.
Who's got that right now? Bryce Harper getting that type of deal? Manny Machado getting that type of deal? That's why they still free agents.
Not
they
yet.
Want that money.
No, not yet.
Hey, let me throw in one more thing we haven't brought up. If I don't know if this is important to him. He really seems like a level-headed, solid kid when we interviewed him, as you said. But if it's important to him, and a lot of these kids coming up now, their brand is important. If he wants to be some type of cultural icon or big brand in America, again, football is a much better route to go for that than baseball. ESPN last year, they did their 100 most famous athletes in the world. And they use like social media, your following to determine it. They use like how much people search for you on the internet and how much money you make from endorsements. Of the top 100 athletes in the world, guess how many baseball players were on that?
I don't know. How many?
0. 100. There were 7.
No, they make their money. They make their money directly from their contract.
The superstars.
That's what they do.
The superstars.
That's what
there were 7 NFL players on that list, 5 of them quarterbacks. So again, maybe that's not important to him, but if he does want to be that big brand and cultural icon, football is the way to go for baseball.
Yeah, I just look at long term. Like I said, if it's his passion, no one can knock him for following his passion. I've said that from the start. So, I wish him nothing but the best of luck if that's what he really wants to do. But I'm saying if I were in that position and I had a chance to do both, and you look at especially the health concern and the long term of a career, there's been guys we could go.
You keep mentioning the health concerns.
It's real.
That's a concern even in baseball.
Not on the same level.
It's
every play you can be hurt in football. Every single play,
any
Greg.
sport.
Every single
any
play.
sport, you can get injured with one play. Any sport.
Yeah, but football,
it's more dangerous.
It is. The risk is greater.
I mean, just every
but
snap.
there is a risk.
No, I get the risk.
okay.
You can get hit in the head with a baseball.
But you know what?
I get that.
To be as great as he is in either sport, that's not on his mind.
No.
And
you don't know. You don't live like that.
You
but I'm
can't
just
worry
saying
about
that's
that.
a
You gotta do
reality.
what you wanna
That's
And what I love about this is we've on this side of it, on the media side of it, we've always said what somebody couldn't do or why they shouldn't be where they're headed or going in the direction that they're headed. If people listen to everything people like Rob Parker says, like your height, why dream? Why dream?
You can dream, but that doesn't mean that you can't lay out a scenario.
And why pursue it? This is why I love sport, because there's an opportunity to prove somebody wrong every day, because Baker Mayfield was in the same position coming from the same school, the same system, and he was told the same things. His height. He was even compared to Johnny Manziel, the probably worst thing for Baker Mayfield. And what happened to him?
He beat some bad teams this year, so we'll see what happens.
First overall, and he's doing it the right way. He's changed the landscape of the Cleveland Browns moving forward. This is what your ability and the production on the field can do despite your height. There is no limit on, you know what, you have to be 6'2" or 6'3" or 6. That is not the requirement.
Every time
that is just what we've been
something goes
into
wrong, it's
and we see every day.
He ain't tall enough.
No, it's not.
Watch.
If he's not good enough, he just won't be good enough. But I don't think it's going to be his height.
Taken 9th overall in the MLB draft. It'll be fun to see where he goes in the NFL draft. Should the Lakers be losing faith in Magic Johnson's ability to run the franchise?